Kura whānau, happy Flint and Steel Saturday. Bit overcast here in Ruawara, but it's dry. Had a little bit of rain last night, but yeah, it's dry today, so we can get a burn in. Yeah, New Zealand artist Conk, and what I do is I use my little zester, and if you can see that, that helps fray up or fluff up the edge of the Amadou. Just helps it catch a spark. Same principle as your anything you're doing, like char cloth or whatever you want. You want something that's frayed up, and those little hot sparks can just catch onto something. So yeah, I highly recommend if you're dealing with fungus, try that, friends. And just when we're building our bird's nest, you really want your inner core really fine, and yeah, more is better than less, and then that way you're able to build your coal. So I'm using dried moss, lichen and roadside grass from in our drain across the road, and our Andrew Kirkham custom snake striker. And this is, because it's such a chunky beast, I found that sometimes I've got to use quite a robust edge on my stone to get ignition. And another thing I've been doing, friends, is don't forget ferro rod and even flint and steel. Just sanding, coarse sandpaper, and just smooth that edge out, because the stone will take chunks out of that, and if we're maintaining it as we go, it's a lot easier to maintain. Where if you leave it for a while, like I'm guilty of sometimes, you end up having to go to a belt sander and then sandpaper. And don't be afraid to get sandpaper out on your ferro rods, because it's the same principle. When it's got all those gouges and uneven bits in it, even the speed bumps, you know, it stops that glide of the striker. You know, it'll be jumping, so it's not getting a smooth strike. And it's the same with flint and steel. As that's cutting through the stone, if it's jaggedy, it's not gonna take all a nice strip of metal, however fine it is. Yeah, so it's that same principle. So I just mentioned that. past edge. So I'll try that. Hope I'm in frame. Oh, got it. Dropped my stone as I did it. And the thing with fungus, friends, is I've got a slight breeze coming this way. So ordinarily you'd want to wrap your bird's nest and hold it up and blow into it with the wind behind you. But yeah, when you're dealing with fungus, it needs time to build that, grow that coal. Where char cloth is just so quick to expand. So that should be pretty good now. And it's good to just stop, give it a break for a second, and then redo it. There we go, done it. Sorry about that, I just don't want to get that on fire. A little bit more breeze and yeah, it's not till something's on fire like that. Smoke gives you an idea of the of the breeze. Call it there. So, Andrew Kirkham custom snake striker. There's some zested and fluffed Amadou. Yeah, and don't underestimate how valuable these are, as well as your pocket bellows. And that was just a little bit of English Flint, but you can see the edge is a bit beaten up, but got the job done, didn't it? See, and that's the other thing, when you get rough looking bits of stone like that, is you learn to hold that edge or turn that stone to where you've got that edge there. You expose that edge and put your material on top. That edge there, you would have to sort of tilt that way a bit. But you learn to read your stone and where your edges are to do a fresh edge. And I'm not sure if that's a bit of orange chert, but yeah, that's pretty beat up and rough. Oh, it's got a bit of jasper in it as well. So, I'm no geologist. The same thing, you know, you could use that edge there, just tilt it that way. That's the thing, you just read your stone to and that's the thing, you're trying to get that angle of that stone where as you're coming down you're slicing and you're trying to hop a spark over. So, useless information, but yeah, get out there and practice, friends. Yeah, you know, you don't need something flash like that, but if you start collecting and take up a hobby, you know, it's nice to have good things, but you know, you can get away with just a ground bit of file. So from Jason here, Rural New Zealand, happy Flint and Steel sad day. Ka kite anō.